Welcome everybody to Dark Side Paranormal. We are here at the 1899 Bolton Street house in Jacksonville, Texas. It's a location that the house has a lot of history to it. Got a lot of haunted items that Becky, the owner, has gathered over the past few years to add to the home. I know a little history about the house. I don't know much about the outside area. But I have Tay with me from Tay's Paranormal Archives. She's more of a history buff and knows a whole lot more about this area. So I kind of wanted to get together with her and try to give a little bit of information to find out a little history about Jacksonville, Texas, the house, some of the different things in the area. And Tay, you've come to this house now probably with me for, I know, at least 5 times, maybe more.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've had a whole lot of activity, but you're always more into, the history on the different things, the town, when it, established, and, our history of the old days, So kind of fill everybody in on what you know about this area.
Well, I wish I knew a little bit more about when the town was established, but we know from the Killuff Massacre that the first settlers arrived in 1837. And that happened just outside of Jacksonville, at the Killuff River, where there's a monument erected there for this. And basically what happened was some settlers settled on land that was previously granted to the Cherokee people by Sam Houston, but that treaty was nullified, and portions of the land were then just sold to settlers and pioneers. And so in 1838, the settlers had cleared the land, they planted their crops, and when it was almost time to harvest, they heard rumors that there were going to be uprisings and attacks. And what was actually happening was the Mexican officials were plotting to retake Texas, and they were inciting the natives to attack these settlers, hoping to clear a way for their army to invade. So it somewhat worked until we made our own army back, and the settlers fled to Nacogdoches, and then they returned to harvest their crops, and that's when they were attacked by a hostile band of natives. And the survivors actually fled to Lacey's Fort, and it's south of here, and they had a 1-year-old infant with them and a little dog that they couldn't leave behind. So it was a terrifying journey down.
Yeah, I believe, I think I heard the story about as they were able to escape, they did most of the traveling during the night.
Yep.
So they wouldn't be seen, traveling in the dark. So I imagine that was probably pretty terrifying for a mother and a child. I don't know how many there were.
I think 18. Yeah, about
there was 18 survived.
Roughly.
So yeah, that was probably kind of a fright for them underneath the circumstances.
Mm-hmm. So that's just how the area kind of started. So it started with violence and just a lot of violence right off the bat. I wish I knew what year this house was built. Do you remember?
Well, it's shown as 1899, but when I talked with the owner, Becky, she wasn't able to find a whole lot of documentation on the house that was real legible, but she's kind of estimating from what she was able to find out that it was probably built about 10 years earlier than that. Okay. So she's figuring around 1899, 1900, or 1890. Yeah, 1890. So, but don't really know exactly, but it's in that area.
Well, what's cool about this area is the founders are the street names. We've got Bolton Street, Jackson Street, Canada Street, and she's got portraits of these founders and the people that built the house inside the house. So that's pretty cool. But it was built by the Bolton family.
Yeah, I believe. Bolton family was pretty good size. I think there was 9, 10, or 13 kids. But I understand that Mr. Bolton and his wife, I believe her name was Mary, possibly. Or Sarah, I can't remember exactly, but they were basically the first ones that started, this was the first home that was built, I guess. But then as more of the family come into the area, they built more houses right through this area. So basically this was really Bolton town until it became Jacksonville. I do know that there is another house that looks pretty much identical to this one that came up for sale not too long ago. It's a little different inside, but the outside looks basically the same except for the entry door location coming in. But I understand it is very haunted as well.
Did it end up getting bought, do you know?
That I don't know.
I forgot to check on the way in.
I know me and one of my team members, we were trying to get access to that house before it really sold, just to get a kind of idea if possibly there is any spirits there. But this place is well active, so it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of these other homes right here in this area don't have some kind of activity.
Absolutely. And this one sat abandoned for so long that who knows what energies were coming in and out.
Well, that and the fact that even after the Boltons, it crossed into, I think, two different hands. So there was different type of activity in this home as to where I believe, if I remember correctly, the upstairs was basically like a boarding house in a way. And I heard it was kind of some shady clientele there. And then I believe that it was something had to do with the husband and wife at one point that I'm not sure the circumstances there or if that is even true, but the wife didn't like the husband very well and probably had him killed off, I believe. I don't know. Wow. Don't have the real, no documented proof of that, but it's just kind of the stories that I have heard, through different sources on this property. Not to mention, they used to have an asylum across the street,
right across
as well as one behind the house.
Oh, I didn't know about that one. That one's still standing.
Well, that one's still standing. They just, when they built the hospital over there, they added that. It was part of it. You know. But the one behind us, it was torn down. But they believe a lot of activity comes in the home has to do with these two asylums there. Not to mention, in the area, there's 13 cemeteries? Within like a 12-mile radius.
They're like all family.
There's different cemeteries, but they're within I think it's like a 10-mile radius of this place. So.
Well, then being on original Cherokee land, we don't know what else happened. All we have is
From
the
the
Kill-Off
massacre?
massacre, but how many of those skirmishes is what they're calling them, how many of those happened? And we don't know before that.
I mean, both of us, we've come across some pretty interesting activities at home, you know, between seeing shadow figures, getting disembodied voices, hearing different sounds. And I know you're real good at using dowsing rods, where you've been able to get some pretty good communication going, as well as spirit box.
I'm good, I'm good at deciphering spirit box for sure.
Just like I was telling her, she went and did a little bit of running while kind of had supper, and while I was sitting here, well, it wasn't while I was sitting, actually it was in the other room, and I had my deprivation mask on, was just kind of feeling, you know, what kind of energy, if I was connecting with anything. And I had a little boy come through, don't know who he was, but he'd asked me, he said, "Where did the girl go?" And I said, "What girl?" He said, "The one we just here, I believe." And I said, "Who are you talking about?" And he said, "The one wearing purple." That would be her. So he must want to communicate with her tonight. So this will be an interesting night for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what is the story behind, I guess it's cowboys?
Are you talking about the gunfight?
The gunfight, yeah.
So the gunfight?
Cowboys are usually a gunfight.
It's actually not cowboys.
Okay.
It's, the circus came to town.
Oh.
And back in those days, the circus was not highly regarded. They did not like circus folk. You know, they called them freaks. They didn't want them in their town. Well, being Jacksonville and being who they were at that time period, they were obviously very not welcoming of the circus folk. So as they came in, the townsfolk went to the main bars. They all kind of made a mob of each other and got drunk, and then they attacked the circus people. And it was the first attack, didn't really go anywhere, and then they came back. They went and got an official warrant from the sheriff himself to attack and arrest the circus people who did nothing. So they had the law enforcement on their side, and it ended up in a shootout, but nobody died except one circus animal, and a couple of at least the circus performers were injured or stabbed, and it all ended, and I don't remember what side this person was on. I believe it was a circus performer. It ended with him pouring hot coals and threatening to light up the entire downtown area if they didn't stop and leave them alone. And that made the townsfolk stop and recede, and circus folk got out of town.
That sounded to me like they didn't want them there, so they were trying to run them out of town.
Oh yeah.
Whatever way they could. But,
still violent and unnecessary.
I mean, that kind of still goes on nowadays. When somebody don't like you, they're going to, do whatever they can to get you away or run you out. But, you had been to, what's it called? The Killer Monument?
The Kill-Off?
The Kill-Off
Massacre Monument. No, I've driven by it, and I haven't gone and really experienced it. That's tomorrow.
So you haven't been there and done any type of sessions?
No, that's going to be tomorrow at some point.
I've been there one time, but it was a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really use any of my devices, but with the ability that I have, some people call it a gift, I just call it an ability. I was able to connect. I would believe it was part of some of the settlers. I do believe I was maybe interacting because I couldn't understand the language, so it might have been some of the Native Americans that lived back at that time. So yeah, I'm wanting to go back there and use some devices this time, as well as see how much has changed, if any activity has increased or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to going back there again too. Probably we do it if the rain holds out, but
well, last time you and I came here, it was raining the whole weekend, so we couldn't do anything outdoors.
I think pretty much every weekend we've been here, it's rained.
Yeah.
But hey, that's a good thing too, because that usually ramps up the activity.
Yeah.
Because the spirits use that for energy. I think it's going to be a real interesting weekend. Usually I find when I spend 2 nights, the first night it's almost like they're not really doing a whole lot. They're kind of checking us out basically to see that we're here, not I guess mocking them or provoking them or anything, or tearing up their home. you know, but it always seems like the second night is when they are there. All right, these people
Yeah.
are pretty cool. I'm going to show them some stuff now. So hopefully we're going to have a real good weekend. Yeah, I mean, definitely, you know, check out some of my other videos or even hers. You say you're on TikTok, you're on Facebook. Do you also have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, and I post. I just don't do a lot of long form video, but I do post on YouTube.
Okay, kind of short,
yeah, like
short story or whatever you want to call
Well,
it.
my time here this weekend will actually be in vlog form, so we're gonna see like where I go out on the town and in the house, but less of an investigative video, more of a vlog.
Yeah. Well, you're a little different. I try to I do sessions to see what kind of activity I get, what I'm able to connect with. I've already had a few things happen to me since I've been here, but I'm really expecting a whole lot more. I do know that, like I say, Becky has added a lot of new items to the house. Some of them she does, or she's been told that they have attachment to them. There's other items she's not sure. But I mean, hopefully I'll be able to connect with some of them, be able to find her out some more answers like I have in the past for. So, you know, hey, we're just gonna go ahead and get in the investigation, and be sure to check out her channels, and go to mine, Dark Side Paranormal, and let's see what this weekend brings. Who's in the room here with me? Can you make one of those little toys over there light up? Either those purple lights, that little string of purple lights, maybe touch one of those or all of them. There's a little cat ball.
Miss Bolton and Ed up there arguing.
Who?
Miss Bolton and Ed.
Tripwire?
They wouldn't let the little kid talk, and they were arguing back and forth. And I mean,
What room y'all in?
the traveling room.
Travel room.
And now the sound.
I think what I gathered, like the second time I was here, I picked up on a female that was in that room because I asked Becky, I said, by chance did Miss Bolton stay in this room? Mr. Bolton stayed in the lavender room? And she said, well, I really don't know. Why? I said, because I'm picking up on a female that's in this room.
Yes, she was prominent.
Yeah.
She was telling Ed to stop. Enough.
Yeah.
And was like yelling at him to let the kid talk.
Yeah.
And every time the kid would try to talk, Ed would talk over him.
Yeah.
And we're like, no.
Well, it was like that the last time we were here.
He was very
kind of dominant.
Very dominant.
Because when we did a session in here,
That wasn't him. That was something else.
that was something else that we
Yeah.
had in there that night.
That was it. That was different. That one was like it would have been like my grandparent going, this is how it is.
Yeah.
And slapping your wrist. Type thing. Hey, you want to do something cool? Watch the spirit. Watch the trip light go off. Oh, yeah. It'll go off. She's over.
If there's anyone in here with me, I have some devices set up over there with that doll and rocker chair, which I think that's Lizzie. But I'm not sure Lizzie's over here right now. I think it might be someone else. Okay. Are you Mr. Bolton? Because I know you hung around in this corner before. This is Mr. Bolton. Could you make those lights light up again for me, please? Alright. There's a little toy ball sitting right there on the chair by the doll baby. Can you possibly touch it and make it light up for me? It'll just confirm that there is someone over there. All you gotta do is touch it or move it, and it'll start flashing different colors. I promise. Everything we are using here tonight, it will not hurt you in any way. We mean no disrespect. We're just here in your beautiful home visiting, hoping that you'll come and communicate with us. And whoever is here in the home tonight, if you'd like to come up and communicate with us or let us know that you are here, feel free to walk up to any of our devices that we are using tonight. Activate them. It'll just let us know that you are there. Can you light up all of those? Make all those purple lights light up for me, please. Thank you. Is this Mr. Bolton? If this is Mr. Bolton, can you make those lights light up again for me, please? this Mrs. Bolton? If it's one of the Bolton children, see if you can light those little purple lights up for me. Lizzie, are you here? Or maybe Hannah? There's a little toy there on the floor with a red light. Can you touch that little stick that's sticking out of it? Maybe get it to start flashing some colors? It'll just let me know that you are here with us tonight. AC off a little bit. It's loud in here. Got a couple cat balls over there, and I got my dead bell. Station 2 has a Bolton house in the servants' quarters. There's only one up here in the room with me. A couple little toy balls here on the floor that light up different colors. I also have a bell down here. All you gotta do is get close to them, touch them, ring that bell. Make some noise, move something, make a loud bang. Whatever you're able to do, let me know that you are here with me. My name is Tim. I'm here to visit your beautiful home and to see if possibly anyone here would be willing to come and interact with me. Let me know that you are here. Is there anyone who can do that for me, please? Come and join me. I come with the utmost respect. To know if someone's here. Anyone that would like to communicate, maybe you can come and ring this bell for me down here on the floor that I'm pointing to. Just walk over there and touch it. See if you can make it ring one time for me, please. Heard footsteps back here on these back stairs. Possibly maybe one of the servants. service here. Could you do something to let me know? Make a knocking sound? Move something? Sound. I don't know what it was. It sounded like it came from over that way towards the stairs. You may hear people that are here investigating tonight downstairs. Don't know if the camera's picking up their voice or not, but if you are picking that up, that's who it's coming from. Is there anyone up here who would like to come and communicate with me? I know I've communicated with Lizzie and Hannah. I'm communicated with a John and a Mary. I even give you permission to touch me. If that's how you can let me know that you're here, that's perfectly fine. There you go. Can you ring that bell right there beside that little ball? Just walk over and touch it on top. It'll make a little dinging sound. It'll kind of sound like this if you touch it right here. Can you do that? You may have to use a little bit of your energy, but that would be pretty cool if you can ring it. In the seance room, and this is a new item that Becky added to the house. It's an Annabelle doll replica that she got from the Warren Museum, and they say it has something attached to it, so they basically have this in a case, and there was a sign on there, do not touch. So it's not the original, but I do have a feeling that there is something attached to it. I just don't know what, at least not yet. Well, ow, there's a chair there or something. Yeah, I'm in the dark here. We'll put this, as soon as I figure out where I'm at, I'll set this on the table here, and see possibly with some activity. Yeah, definitely in the dark here. There's some children back here behind me. Let's see one of them. Oh, yeah. Well, everybody's here now. It's going to be spending the weekend. Everybody's kind of doing their own little thing. I've done a couple sessions. I did one down there in the parlor room. Got a little bit of activity with the trip choir, and you know, didn't seem to be nothing that I can actually say that I was connecting and communicating with. I did a session in the service quarters and used a dead bell and a couple cat balls. I did have a cat ball go off. Heard a couple little sounds, but I'm not sure what those were, so I can't really get any confirmation there. So now I'm here in the seance room and definitely feel some energy in here, and already I had a full battery when I started. It's fluctuating, and it's like something's already draining it pretty quick. So if there's anything attached to this Annabelle doll, it's in this case over here. It came from the Warren Museum. There's a bell right there on the table in front of you. Can you ding that bell for me? Make it ring one time, please. Just trying to figure out if there is something attached to this doll. Or if the energy in here is totally something different. If I can get whatever's here at least to ring that bell, then we can try to figure out who's here. Is there anybody willing to do that? Definitely is creepy in this room. Had a few little things happen since I've been here. Nothing much. Made a connection with a little boy. And a couple other areas, you know, I got like that static energy charge. Heard some little sounds. Sound like footsteps on the stairway coming up out of the kitchen area. I saw, I don't know whether it was an apparition or a shadow figure crossing the hallway. I kind of saw it out of my peripheral vision, but it was enough that I saw it crossing the doorway there in the hall. Not sure what that was, but at the time I was the only person here, so and then I did, while I was eating, a cat brushed up against my leg. When I looked down, just for just a few seconds, I saw a black cat. And a little bit of the story behind that is there used to be a house cat here named Witchy, which was a black cat. I mean, she was like part of the house, but then she disappeared, and nobody knew whether someone had taken her or whether she got ran over out here in the highway. Nobody knew. But the black image I saw of the cat earlier, can't say for sure because it was so quick, it didn't last very long, but I'd almost say that it was Witchy. It was her spirit. So Possibly. She spent a lot of time here at this house. Been here for, well, I know at least 2, maybe 3 years. I don't know how long she'd been here, but she was always here when we come. You know, she's kind of missed not being around anymore, but, you know, if that was her spirit, she's still here. If there's anyone in the room here with me, I sure would love it if right over here on the table there's a little bell right in front of that Raggedy Ann doll in the case. Can you ring that bell for me, please? It'll just let me know that someone is here. I come all this way with the utmost respect. I'm not here to harm anyone. The devices that we use, they will not harm you. We're just hoping to find out who possibly might be here. And you can help us out by letting us know that you are here. That's why we use some of these devices. It kind of helps us, you know. You're able to activate them, which lets us know that you are here. We'll put a little cat ball out here on the table too. So if there is anyone here, maybe you can ring that bell for me, or maybe you can light up that little ball that I just sat over there. Just like to know that someone else is here, that I'm not here by myself. Or at least not in this room. There are other people here, but I'm somewhat by myself right now. Is there anyone willing to come and join me? And maybe have a conversation? Just trying to find out, get some answers on who might be here. Three stations, not really getting much activity. Two of the girls did a spirit box station earlier, and they were getting a little bit of communication, but it was almost like the two spirits were arguing amongst themselves, and the girls were just happening to hear it. But it is two of the spirits that are pretty much here all the time. I know I have interacted with Hannah and Lizzie before, two of the children's spirits that we believe are attached to two of the dolls here. I've interacted with some of the Boltons. Mrs. Bolton, I don't know if her name was Sarah or Mary, but can't remember which one. Well, I want to say it's Mary that I've communicated with, and then I'm also connected with a John, which I believe was the oldest boy. I don't know. Seems pretty quiet tonight, but I mean, we go to places and it's like I know the spirits are here, but it's almost like they're just kind of not doing much. They're just watching us, checking us out, seeing what we're doing, and that's one reason why we like kind of coming and spending 2 nights instead of just one, because I find a lot of times that don't do much the first night, but second night and It's like they feel more comfortable around us and decide they want to start doing things and let us know that they are there. So, we're going to be here the whole weekend, so hopefully we don't get much tonight. That will all change tomorrow, and we'll get a lot of activity. But I do know this place is very active, and with some of the new items that Becky told me that she's kind of added to the house, I believe that might even increase the activity a little bit more. But patience is what you have to have when you go, paranormal investigating. So. Who's attached to the Annabelle doll here? I sure would love it if you would ring that bell for me. If you can do that. Maybe you're not able to do much. I don't know. We try to use different devices, hoping that you might find something that's easy to use to make your presence known. But maybe you don't want to interact with me. I don't know. Hopefully you're not afraid of me, because I'm not here to harm you. Well, it doesn't look like I'm going to get any action in here either. Hopefully I'll get something happen tonight. I just gotta keep bouncing around to different areas. Maybe they don't like guys and they're all hanging out with the girls. Which, I can't blame them, I guess. Maybe that's where I need to go, hang out with the girls. Yeah. I mean, if they're getting activity, that would probably be the place to be. Alright, well, I'll give it a shot here. Maybe a little later or tomorrow, you'll feel a little more comfortable and come and communicate with me. But I guess we'll go and try another area of the house, see what happens.